Hey guys, this is Camfrey15. I am back at it with another review for you guys, and I am here to review one of the more newest spring animes of 2021, and that is the anime as I pull up the poster right now. Higehiro. After being shaved, I took in a runaway girl. I will say, my initial thoughts on this is very interesting anime and stuff like that. But let's get into this. I'm guessing the genre here is going to be some sort of slice of life slash maybe romance, because I'm getting kind of some romance vibes in this from Higehiro. I'm gonna call it Higehiro for short, so I don't have to say all the other stuff. But yeah, essentially the premise of this story is this guy who is 26 years old who works at, like, I guess you can say, a finance company named Yoshida. Essentially, well, after kind of getting rejected by this very good-looking chick named Goto, finds this girl named Sayu just on the streets, and he brings her in. And that's where our story kind of just takes off. This is kind of an analysis more than just a word for word, recap of the episode. But the reason why I say it's pretty interesting is I really want to know, what is Sayu's whole backstory? Why did she run away from Hokkaido 6 months ago, essentially? Why did she do this? We find out, like, when she first comes across Yoshida, she's literally willing, like, oh, you want to do me or something like that? I'm like, and as I'm watching this, I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, hold on. This is supposed to be a teenage girl, and this guy is supposed to be an adult. Say that again? And you see in, like, multiple times after that scene, after he brings it into his house, like, she, like, tries to seduce him and tries to get him to, I guess, clap some things. I'm just gonna keep it PG as close as I can. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with this girl? Now, I will say this. I do like where the anime took it. Where even though Yoshida is obviously in that part of the story when he first brought her home, he was obviously under the influence, he was drunk and stuff like that. And you would see it to where most, I guess, drunkard people, if, especially most drunkard men, not all of them, but some of them, if they were to see a pretty girl and the girl is like, hey, yada yada yada, do me, I think men, if they're drunk, whether how old they are, might do something like that, even though in the case of a teenage girl and a much older adult, definitely wrong for that. Definitely completely wrong. I do not condone actions of that, even if you are drunk. And I liked how the anime took it to where even though Yoshida was drunk, he didn't give in to his hormones of doing things. And, like, sometimes she kind of showed her, boobs and everything in a way to try to seduce him and everything, but he wasn't phased and everything. And even, I like the fact that even later on in the episode, he had the courage to even be like, no, you're a teenage girl, you're a kid, I'm not doing this. Even when he was sober in the following day, she's pressing all over him, like, please, why wouldn't you want to do it with a girl who's willing to do it? And I'm like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? Now, you would think, like, oh, when she did it when he was sober, you'd think, okay, he might do it. But he's like, no, I told you before, I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to stand by my code. And I like the fact that this Yoshida guy, he's got a code. He is a clear out, aware of, his surroundings, because he knows if he were to do that, she could do something like, say, and two, she doesn't know this girl. who's to say that she runs away again and she kind of blackmails him or something like that and say, oh, this guy slept with me and he's very over the age. And guess what? He gets in trouble for it. And stuff like that. I'll talk more a little bit about Sayu. I'll talk about Sayu a little bit. I like Yoshida's character. He clearly has a boundary limit on what it comes to, girls and stuff like that. Like he acknowledged at the end of the episode, like, you are cute when you laugh, but I found it funny how she took it as a way of hitting on him / flirting, but he's like, I don't mean it like that. But I really do like his character. Again, he's a very honorable type of respectful character, a respectful dude who's, even though it's a girl he doesn't know, a homeless teenage girl he doesn't know, he's kind of giving her some lessons and kind of helping her along and be like, okay, look, you can stay here only till you become, the spoiled brat self of you is done. And then that's it. And I like the whole fact in the conversation after finding out who Sayu is. He's like, look, if you're going to stay here, okay, fine. But you're going to have to you're going to have to do something. You got to do some work. So you're going to have to set some guidelines here because I can't just let you live here scot-free. You can't be acting around like this is your house, your rules, yada, yada. You just, can't be sleeping all over the place. And he's like, okay, fine. The first line of work is doing the chores around the house and stuff like that. So I very much like his character, how he's like, look, you're not going to be staying here for long, so don't get comfortable. But at the same time, I do like the fact that he let her into his house, and she's being respectful. At the end of the day, Sayu's being a respectful person. And the thing is, I like the fact that, he's caring for her like it's as if it is her own daughter. And stuff like that, and he's willing to make sure like, oh, she's okay. Like I like the end of the episode where they go to the store after realizing like, oh, she has no other type of change of clothes, and so like he not only gets her more clothes, but he gets her also a futon, essentially a bed to sleep on, so it's more comfier for her to sleep on, to sleep somewhere instead of just sleeping on the hard floor and everything. And I really do like it. I think he's a very funny character, very interesting character, and I do like the aspect how he wants to find out what happened to her. Why did she run away and stuff like that. I do like his one companion buddy who essentially is kind of looking out for him because he's like, yo. He's like, yeah, it's a teenage girl, man. You could get in trouble. I also did like the fact that he did look up the fact that he did look to see if there was any missing, teenagers, so then he could if he found out, he could just go to the police and be like, here's the missing teenager, I found her on the streets and stuff like that. I did like he looked up that, but then again, we saw a very thing to keep in mind, we saw him looking on his phone before they went to the store, where we saw a man essentially get arrested for kidnapping a 17-year-old girl. So there could be a portion in this anime or in this storyline where maybe he gets caught, somebody takes it the wrong way, and he might get messed with and he might, get in trouble with the authorities for having essentially an underage girl in his house that is not legally his. That could be a storyline going forward, because we did see him mention one of the scenes where he's at his work, his friend's like, oh, I can see you're, much more cheerful, much more happy and stuff like that, because people think you got a girlfriend. He's ironing, because obviously Sayu ironed his clothes. He looks more relieved and much more happy. And then you just saw, I think it was Goto, and she just looked at him and stuff like that. Now, Goto's an interesting character. She rejects him in the first part of the episode, and he essentially asks her, like, hey, did you want to come over to my house for the night? And essentially he's like, actually, I'm kind of seeing someone. And we find out that Goto has been seeing somebody apparently for 5 years. Now, I did watch somebody's reaction / review, and they said I wouldn't be shocked if Goto actually has no boyfriend. She hasn't been seeing anyone, and maybe she was just like, I guess, not willing to go to the next step in, I guess, the relationship in some sort of way. That could definitely be an open plotline. Who knows? It could be the whole plotline where she just walks in on them, and guess what? Sayu and Yoshida are right there, and she's gonna be like, what is going on here? So definitely interesting. Now, in terms of Sayu, I do like her character a lot. She's a very cheerful, funny, jokey, I guess you can say much of a trickster slash jokester of a character. Like, I just like the whole time how she just messes around with him. And I feel like it's going to be just honest to goodness hilarious when she kind of messes around with Yoshida's like whole aspect of rule of not trying to seduce him. Like, I like the end of the episode where she's like, would you like to sleep with me? And he's like, what the hell? I thought I told you not to seduce me. And she's like, well, I technically didn't do anything to seduce you. I just said, would you mind to sleep next to me in the same bed? And I'm like, okay, all right, okay. But she's very, funny, very, interesting. I do like her character from the standpoint she comes across like a spoiled kid that expects things to be handed to her. And again, like with Yoshida, I am very intrigued to see why did she run away. It seems like, from what she was saying, it seems like her parents must have not given a damn about her, must have been like, I guess, horrible scumbag parents that I guess are the type of parents that say, I wish you were never born and stuff like that. So very interesting. And two, another interesting thing is we find out too in this episode with Sayu, this isn't the first time she's been in another man's room or an adult's household. It's implied that, she's been in other people's houses because she makes a mention like, yeah, other boys' houses weren't so, messy and stuff like that. And it's also too implied that she did probably sleep with those men she, I guess, stayed over at their house and stuff like that. Now, listen, that's really sleazy on those guys, and that's really kind of disgusting when you think about it, if we're being honest. But there's got to be some sort of reason going on here. I guess as the weeks progress, we're gonna find out. But it's gonna be a very interesting mystery. But I very much like the setting and stuff like that. And again, I like the characters, the two main characters presented here. Now, I don't know if there's gonna be a romance between the two. If there is, my thoughts on the thing is, do the romance if there's a time skip, I guess. Like maybe when she's like, I guess you can say a college level student, that would be fine with me. At least a college level student, not a high schooler. I probably won't condone it if it's a high schooler, but hey, if they set up the relationship, okay, fine. But I don't think they'll set the relationship up. I think it's going to be a way of Yoshida mentoring her to be a more responsible person as she grows. And who knows, maybe we will get a time skip at the end and the two will end up going out and stuff like that. Very much interesting show. I was very interested, interested to see where this is going to be going. And yeah, but Higehiro, definitely can't wait to see more of this. So I guess expect more weekly reviews of Higehiro. And yeah, so if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this anime, Higehiro. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you suspicious about it? Yeah. And again, like I said, the one thing I did like about Yoshida's character is that he held back. He was like, no, you're a teenage girl. I can't do this. Some dudes' hormones would be like, screw it. I don't care. If a girl's asking it for it, then I'm going to do it. And even if it isn't right and stuff like that. And that's when you get into the whole R-word stuff and things like that. And taking younger, girls advantage of. That's what some men do, as crazy as it seems. But definitely going to be very much interested to see where this is going. Very much like the show. The animation actually looks really good. And I definitely like the comedy we're getting in the show. very funny. Like there was a few times in this show I literally laughed. Like still the last scene of the episode where she did her little jokingly comment, or I guess her little flirtation with him. I was literally dying. But very good show. Very much interested to see where this is going. And yeah. So again, like I said, if you like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on Higehiro, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more anime review content. So till then, guys, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and hopefully you guys are staying safe out there. Till then, guys, peace.